your wedding day. Such memories. Your smiling face, the love in her eyes, promising of a lifelong journey of understanding and support. So what the fuck happened? You out the house, she got the car, and you're recovering on your homeboy's couch, or even worse, in your parents' basement. Life after marriage is not something most men are prepared for. Many don't even talk about the issues that affected what was supposed to be one of the best things that ever happened. What now? How does your life start over? It's time to talk about it. The Lame Show starts now.
Welcome to The Lame Show, Life After Marriage Ends. We are your hosts, Daniil, Drew, Jamal, Goran,
what's up?
And Kier. Today, we are interviewing Beth. Beth is a fellow podcaster. She has a podcast called, is it Journey Driver?
That's correct.
Okay, and so she is the founder of that. She's a mentor, entrepreneur, and she's just joining us to talk about some topics that are important to her. So welcome to the Lame Show.
Welcome, Beth.
Welcome Thank you, guys.
Good
Blessings.
So
good to join you all.
Yes, we appreciate you joining. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your podcast and what you're passionate about?
Sure. My name's Beth. I am from Minnesota. I heard one of you singing Prince's song, so thank you for that.
That's me.
He's got the Purple Rain shirt on.
Purple Rain. If you turn your camera on, you can see it.
I am in my 30s.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a big deal or not.
We were wondering.
It's significant.
Is it?
Yeah. You have life experience.
Do you want my high blood type? Anything else? I'm just joking.
No. That's helpful.
30, you have some life experience.
Oh, Lord. I'm passionate about criminal justice, anything in regards to reform work, being a community servant. I do a lot of things. I wear many hats, so it just all depends.
So does that mean you would date somebody doing a bid?
I'm sorry?
Would you date someone doing a bid?
No.
Okay. Interesting.
No,
Your
not at
support
all.
goes to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So Beth, tell us a little bit about your podcast.
So my podcast is from the brand Journey Driver, where we believe every journey is worth the drive. So I invite individuals to come and share their personal journey. So other people who are tapping into our platform can listen in, offer their insight, but most importantly, just to shed light on people's individual personal journeys and go from there.
So the way we were introduced to you, you joined our clubhouse one night, and you dropped some gems there, and actually, you've got 5 divorced men up here, and we brought you on the show. And so what do you think about our show? What do you think about the Lame Show and the value we've been providing? Like what do you have you gone through, as Drew gave you that homework and listened to all the previous episodes?
Oh, he remembers the homework.
Yeah, I did tap in and I checked it out. I think it's really dope that a group of particularly Black men are coming together to share their personal experiences. And just I love the transparency. It's the side that us women don't get to see, don't have the view of. So it was beautiful to tap in and to see some of the things. I think it was the most recent one, how the fellas got their groove back. If I remember correctly. I was listening and I was like, oh my goodness, at the restaurant? Oh, Lord.
It's not coming out your nose.
Bar alert. Well,
Yeah.
Thank you. We really appreciate your support and definitely, guys, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I had a question for her. I just wanted to clarify. I think one of the meetings you said you also came from a divorced household. Is that true? Did I hear right?
That's correct.
All right. And my question is, what was that like for you? Because, most of us here, well, all of us here are divorced and have kids, and I always wonder about the impact it's having on my son. And you can't, I ask my son how he's doing. I'm great, Dad. He's always going to give me a positive outlook. He's always going to give me the rosy story. But as someone who went through it, what was that like for you? You can touch on it. Some good, some highs, or some lows.
Sure.
That make sense?
I think anytime as a child when you see your parents going their separate ways, you don't have the mental capacity to fully process it.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is like, oh, why can't you guys just make it work type of thing?
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I really appreciated about our parents is they never really showed us, even though like their divorce was really nasty. I learned that as an adult. I never saw it, like my mother never spoke ill of my father and he didn't either. They always talked highly of each other to us. If mom said something is not going to take place, dad agreed with it and supported it and vice versa. So as far as that goes, it was pretty peaceful for the most part. I think it's always interesting when they get remarried and bring someone else into the picture. And I'm a huge fan of my father, so that was a bit more challenging for me than it was for anybody else. But that took place as an adult too, so it didn't happen. My mother waited a very long time prior to moving on and having somebody else in her life, whereas my father I believe he got remarried when I was, I wouldn't say right away. I think he was enjoying the single life and I guess that form of freedom. But probably like...
We just talked about that.
I told you guys, men are always looking for relationships. I told you that. I told you. I said that.
Yeah. We actually just covered that literally on our last episode. So
yeah, he waited for a while.
Okay.
They were childhood lovers, so I don't think he was gonna. And I think that's one of the main reasons why their relationship didn't work. They got married very young, and they kind of rushed into the process. And marriage takes a lot of work, and it's a huge commitment. And if you haven't, maybe explored or done what what you need to do as a man and woman, you might be curious and you might want to water someone else's grass. So,
okay,
bars.
So Beth, would you
just being transparent?
Yeah,
no.
Keep
why
it going.
that's what we want. That's exactly why you're here. So
in a previous episode earlier, we talked about this, and there's a debate. That period that you just referenced, would you call that dating, or would you call that a hoe phase?
Ooh.
That period after marriage and trying to rediscover yourself, or
if you're not dating to get married,
I think it's gonna vary from person to person. So a person I think who got married at a very young age might transition from that and say, you know what, like I never got to explore, so I'm gonna go out here and explore. I wouldn't necessarily say date because like that's a form of commitment. But if you're exploring, you have there's no strings attached, in my opinion.
hence the whole phase, fellas. There you
So
go.
okay,
Jamal.
I gotta
Here you go.
So if you're dating someone for 2 months and you guys do not establish that it's a relationship, and it ends, and then you go on to date another person for say 4 months, and it doesn't end in a relationship, and you go to date another person for, let's say, 3 months. Did that person have a whole phase?
I wouldn't say that. Because again, like we're all adults, right? So I think that as long as you're transparent and you're communicating to the other person saying, hey, like I'm in a phase of my life where I'm not really looking for anything serious. I'm exploring, and so I just want to be respectful and let you know and go from there. I think the problem with a lot of men and women is that transparency is not there.
No,
so
Beth, because
therefore,
I tell them all.
you tell them
Right.
Okay.
So
well,
you
there
can tell
might
a
be
person
a lack of emotional maturity and intelligence. So,
because the scenario I just gave you, where a person could, in a 12-month span, a person could date 3 people and have sex with all of them. They were looking to get a relationship going, but it just didn't work out. So did that person have a whole phase, or were they dating?
That's not a whole phase.
I don't think that's a whole phase.
That's not a whole phase.
Because we talk about
I don't
they
think
were
it's a
they
whole
were they were with someone for 3 months, right? And then they that didn't work out.
It didn't, right.
That's doing what Drew was talking about in our prior
Well, that's
episode.
what she's saying. It's a form of commitment. Like I think.
No. I
dating.
said if you communicate directly in saying that you're exclusive with somebody, then that's a commitment. Like you're together. Versus if you're just out here exploring and you have you have vocalized that and let the other person know, like, hey, I'm not looking for anything serious. I do, however, enjoy your company, but as simple as that, nothing more to it. So there's no strings attached.
Got it.
So how does that translate? Like, a divorced man sees you. He's you guys having a great conversation. He says, "Hey, Beth, listen, I enjoy your company, but I'm not looking to be in a committed relationship." Like, how does that translate?
I think for me, as a woman, I assess where I'm at before I rely on his response. Because if we're not looking for the same thing, the same way he has the ability to be transparent, so do I.
Okay.
And so it's more so of like taking personal responsibility and accountability, and communicating that to him, saying, you know what, like, I think you're an incredible guy, if that's what he is. But unfortunately, I'm looking for more, and you can't give me that. But I respect your wishes and keep it pushing if that's not what you're looking for.
So,
I don't think we need to overcomplicate it.
So, Beth, I have a question for you.
Sure.
You yourself have not been married, right?
No, I have not.
Okay. Is that a goal for you? Is that something that you aspire to reach? Is meeting someone and developing a relationship that could potentially turn into marriage? Is that one of your goals?
You stole my question.
At some point, yes. But I'm a firm believer. Like, I don't believe in divorcing. So although I know that could be a thing, but I guess, like, as far as the vetting process and everything that I've done up to this point, I've just been extremely intentional. So, yeah, God willing, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I don't feel like that's the end of the world either.
Okay.
I just look at things a bit differently when it comes to that.
All right. So
I would like to say Beth is a double Dutch chick. And what I mean by that is she's double Dutch. You know how
She out?
No. You know how girls when they about to do double Dutch, they go in and out. She's a double Dutch chick because guys see her and they see how mature she is. And it's like, am I coming correct? I can't fuck with her. I can't just play around with her. So, am I ready? Nah, I'm not ready yet. My paper ain't right. It may be that guy, my paper ain't right. I can't go at her. Or I'm not done hoeing. I can't go at her. They'll keep her around just to say, hey, you, how you been? But she's a double Dutch chick, which means she's a good woman. But there are a lot of guys that are keeping her around because they're not ready yet. They're not ready to be serious. They're not ready. She's cerebral. She's a cerebral assassin, I could tell.
You know, like
She's like she's gonna call you on your bullshit. She's gonna call you.
An assessment over there.
What
Okay.
she's saying is that it doesn't really matter what the guy says. The faith she has in her own being is paramount to whatever he's dealing with. So
thank you.
Right. So
I'm here for you, girl. Don't worry about it.
She also has a level of maturity that
that could make possibly a divorced man reconsider marriage.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
But you're not looking for a relationship anyway, so you got to come correct, sir.
Wait a minute.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about you.
I want to get on to
I've been on that path before too.
What path is that?
Well, the path where a divorced man had reconsidered, but I just didn't choose him.
Dang, got him.
Wow.
Got him sprung.
Wasn't on your level?
I think he had a lot of internal work that he needed to do, and it wasn't for me to do. It was for a therapist to do.
Work.
So help us settle a debate we've had here on the Lame Show. Is a long-term relationship, 5+ years, the same as a marriage?
No, it's not the
No.
No, it's not?
And can you qualify your answer, please?
Ending a long-term relationship, same as ending a marriage.
Yeah, is
That's what it is.
ending a long-term relationship is the same as ending a marriage?
I think with the marriage is if you go about it in a traditional manner where you have like the contract in place where, like you're legally married,
Yes.
it's a different experience for that person. And so, like your finances are intact, everything is intact. If you have children, if you have so many things, not saying in a long-term committed relationship, that's not a factor, but I think that the opportunity to walk away is a lot easier when you're not married.
No, it isn't. It's
Yes.
not. No, it
Yes.
isn't. It's
We've
not
talked
easy
about this.
to
And now
walk
Beth
away.
is weighed in. She
She
agrees
wait-
with us.
Beth, can I ask you, what's been your longest relationship?
8 years.
8 years.
okay.
So
That's
was
a-
that difficult to walk away from?
No.
Why?
Oh,
And why not?
cost cold blood right there. She said no.
What's your sign, girl? You Aries?
We're not going to go there. I'm a Gemini.
Cold-blooded.
So for me, that was a relationship that I got in when I was super young. And so
like
I
early
was
20s?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we just grew apart. I wanted more out of life and he was comfortable and I don't plan on just being comfortable. And so I communicated that prior to walking away and letting him know, like, hey, we can make this happen if we go about it this way. And I'm very like business minded. And he wasn't budging. So I was just like, how can you see yourself marrying me, but yet you're not even planning on like growing from a business perspective? Like if we can't even partner on things that's going to help us elevate, how can we do life together?
Wait.
So that kind of helped me determine, like, I can't do life with this person.
Were y'all living together?
We were not.
That's tough.
That's you don't have to go pack your shit. That's
Yeah,
the difference.
No,
That's a big
so
difference.
That's a
So
big
I
difference.
have a question. It might cut a little bit, but did
that's fine.
you have to dedicate 8 years to figure that out? Because that seems like a long time if someone's not, leveling up to what your expectations of your what you wanted out of a person.
So we were extremely like close friends before anything.
Okay.
And so it was more so of the friendship that kept us intact for so long, not the romantic aspect of things.
Oh, okay.
I got you.
But shouldn't that be first though? The friendship aspect of it?
It was.
I think it was.
That's
and I
why.
No,
think that's
meaning
what
shouldn't-
kept it.
Shouldn't that friendship kept you guys together, even if he wasn't on the same business path as you were on?
But that's the thing. Like, even as friends, you have to communicate with each other regarding growth. And if somebody doesn't want to grow as a friend, like, you have to be realistic. You know what I mean? I don't hate him. I don't have anything against him. We're
you still
still
friends
cool
with
till
him?
this day. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I just couldn't see myself doing life with him.
See?
And I wanted to be honest and honor that because it wasn't only about me, it was also about his life. And so just because I felt some type of way doesn't mean his life and his wants, needs, and everything else doesn't matter.
That's why Beth is the double Dutch chick.
Double Dutch.
Because
Double Dutch.
he was not business minded. He was not ascending on the pace that she was. So therefore, she cut her losses. So someone who's well versed in seeing how women are and what they want in their path of life, you will see that, okay, I'm not ready for this chick because we're gonna have fun. She's a beautiful woman. She's gonna be great, but she's gonna dead my ass, or she's not gonna pay me attention because she's gonna see through me.
Well, you got to level up.
You gotta level up.
So that's a good question. So Beth, in that scenario, the man, we all here on the show support therapy, right? Working on yourself. So in your situation, that friend that you had a long-term relationship, goes through some type of, self-growth through therapy, really changes as a person. Do they get a second chance?
No.
Ooh.
No, when she cuts ties,
Ruh-roh.
So like for
Ruh-roh.
me,
she don't go back.
once I walk away, like there's no looking back, regardless of how great of a time or whatever the situation may have been. Because if it didn't work then, it's not gonna work now. It didn't work then for a reason. I can understand like people pouring into themselves and doing the work that they need to do, but it's not for me to revisit. If it's for somebody else to experience them.
Okay. So during that 8 years, did you think he was being lazy, or you just think, or was there something else going on in your opinion?
No, he wasn't lazy at all. It's just like I wanted to reach a certain level of success, and I was working my tail off, whereas he was just like, oh, like I have what I need, so therefore like I don't need to go above and beyond type of thing. And that's just what he chose for his life, and there's nothing wrong with that. It just wasn't for me. And so
Ambition.
I felt
the
that
ambitious
if I
guy.
was if I'm friends with somebody and our friendship came before anything else, and that relationship actually taught me a lot. And so I was looking at it like, man, like if I was in his shoes and I love him genuinely as a friend, I would want whatever's best for him, even if the best is not with me in the picture. So I came from that perspective. It wasn't nothing more to it than that.
I actually respect that because a lot of times we get into relationships with people who we know we're not compatible with in hopes that they will change. And, you know, I'll applaud you because you recognize that he's the way he is and he's not going to change, you know. And I think that if you guys would have pursued a marriage or something, he probably would have grown to resent you for that because you knew that's not what he was. So that, you know, I respect that.
So
Thank you.
It seems like you being a child of divorce, you know the ingredients of a divorce, and you know when it's being cooked up. Do you think if you married that guy, you guys would have divorced each other at some point early on in the marriage?
I knew I wasn't gonna marry him. So I
At
don't.
year what?
Year 2.
6 months into the relationship.
6 months.
Oh, and you
And
stayed?
you spent a seven and a
Hold
half
on,
more years.
hold on,
sorry.
hold on.
Hold on,
I
brother.
said
Hold on,
this was
hold
a
on, brother.
judgment-free
Hold on.
zone.
No.
It
We're
is.
not
No,
judging
please,
you.
Please.
We're not judging you. I just said that was surprising. That was a surprising answer. So you strung him
lost
along.
Beth, you there?
I think we lost her.
Did we lose her?
Dude,
We lost her.
she didn't hang up, I hope.
No.
I think she hung up on us because of you, bro.
No, I wasn't judging her. You know that.
Right? You're a judgment. You always judge.
It was
people.
surprising to hear someone that seemed so mature. She held on to him.
That's
Yeah,
a
she
judgment,
is.
bro.
I don't know what happened. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm sorry.
that's
I'm sorry
okay.
Jamal offended you.
Yeah,
I'm
we
sorry.
thought you hung up on
I
us.
apologize for Jamal for
The
offending.
devil Dutch was calling.
She jumped in. She
By the
jumped
way,
in.
we're not editing that out. That's staying in.
So go ahead. Go ahead.
But yeah, I wasn't judging you.
I'm
That
listening
just
to you, bro.
surprised me.
Yeah, that was me. I was the one that snapped out with the 7.5 more years it took you. No, I'm sorry.
But
this
see,
is a
I think,
judgment-free zone.
you know, like, and I'll take full accountability for it. I could have walked away a lot sooner.
Yes, you will.
And most of it was, you know, like he wanted it to work so bad, but then I was just like, no, man. I was like, we're just great as friends. Like, we're not good for anything else. So, although, and part of the time it was long distance, so there were times where we both had to travel for particular reasons.
Okay.
And so
That makes
it
sense.
was complicated.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that young love where we were both learning and discovering our identities and figuring out, you know, what's suitable for us short term as well as long term wise. So we were just, you know, two young people trying to figure it out. In the midst of figuring it out, I was just like, I think I was the environments that I was in was allowing me to have access to things that he might not have had access to. So it allowed me to think ahead of schedule than what the physical age allowed.
Gotcha. So that's a good segue into something else that you've told us that you're very passionate about, and that's Black love.
Absolutely.
Explain that.
Um, Black love to me is everything, you know, like I think about the way I love my father, the way I love my mother, my brothers, my sisters, anybody in the family and the people that I come in contact with. I don't have to have any form of attachment to people to love them, particularly solely because they're black. I love them. So black love to me, you know, especially within the context of, you know, marriage, I look at it like if we make it to each other, that's a victory in itself. Um, so yeah, black love is just dope. Shout
So
out to the black love channels too. If you guys haven't tapped in, please check them out
I assume you want to get married. Is that correct?
at some point. Yeah.
Is that only? Are you holding out only for a black man?
Oh, absolutely.
Ah, interesting. So does he have to be black American or can he be black Latino, Afro Latino?
Can be Jamaican.
That's the same thing.
Shots fired.
We got two single guys up here that are currently seeking wives.
What?
Wait a minute.
Yes, you Key. Yes, you Daniil. Both of y'all.
Hold your horses.
Wives.
Y'all seeking wives.
I'm playing double dutch.
Yeah.
So can
I'm open to it.
open to
Oh.
what, Afro Latino?
Open to who?
Wait, I missed that.
Whoa,
Open to what?
Open to who? Which one? Daniil or Key?
I mean, you said what? You said Jamaican.
Oh, okay.
I said Afro Latino.
That's
yeah,
just
African
Andrew
descent.
starting shit again. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm open to it.
You're open to
Okay.
it, but you okay. That's awesome because I think the numbers show, the stats show that men are becoming less and less interested in marriage, and that's an uphill battle for women who want to get back,
Right.
get married. And I've always said there's no winning formula to this. It's luck, or you find that person, or it happens to you later in life. So, do you think you're in this for the long haul? Or
Absolutely.
So nothing will sway you from the goal of getting married.
Um,
I think
It
she
all
already answered that
depends.
though. She said
I
she didn't
said
say
that
that
I'm
it was
okay
the
either
end all.
or.
Okay.
Huh?
Go ahead, Beth.
I said I'm okay either way. So I think there's like this culture right now of like, oh, you know, like black women don't want to get married, independent modern black women, to be exact is what they're calling it, don't want to get married. And I find that hard to believe. Like, we love our black men, we support our black men, we show up for black men daily. I think that depending on the type of experience each person has had with a black woman is going to vary, and they could only speak based on their experience. I don't think they have a representation of the general population of black women, in my opinion.
So Beth,
Um,
one of the things we kind of have all said, or it's been thrown around on the Lame Show, is leveling up, right? Like you have to level up to your relationship. So, or you know, you mentioned your 8-year relationship with the gentleman that it didn't work out because he wasn't ready to quote unquote level up. Do you feel that that's important that you find someone that is on your level, spiritually, emotionally, financially, and otherwise, in order to make it work?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think that there's certain areas that could be that I could be flexible on, he could be flexible on, but the one area that there are like maybe 3 or 4 areas that I'm not willing to negotiate. That's is he spiritually mature? Is he spiritually wealthy? Prior to him having a lot of money, I could care less how much money a guy has because I could go out and get my own. However, um, I want him to be stable. I want him to be successful. I want him to be able to have ambition and work hard for the things that he wants in life. Because I feel like a disciplined man understands like his true representation, and how he exists in his full essence. So, yeah, but the spiritual aspect is something that I'm not willing to negotiate.
So Beth,
That comes before anything else.
what are non-starters for you as far as hard nose?
They're not super major.
So all right,
You
so let me
can't
ask you.
lack ambition.
So actually, let me ask you a question. Sorry to cut you off. If
No, you're good.
if your 8-year relationship, did he give you 80% of what you wanted?
I think I look at things differently than I did then. So at that moment, it was maybe like 60%.
Okay.
So you were
But friendship wise, it was 100%. So it was hard to differentiate because our relationship started on the foundation of friendship.
Because I kind of have a theory. I have a theory that no person could give you 100% of what you want. So
They could give themselves 100%. And you being able to have a visual of that helps you to see them through, through a different lens.
correct. But if you can't get 100% of a person, which I believe you can't, but you could get 80, do you take that 80 and live happily ever after?
I believe in the 90%.
You believe in a 90?
Wow.
Well, Beth, would you say that?
I've seen it.
Okay.
That tells me
So,
right now
90,
Beth
10.
is single.
Beth is single.
No, I'm not. I actually had my eyes on somebody, but
But do he got his eyes on you?
I said you're single. You said
He
you actually you're
does.
not.
Oh, he got his eyes on you too? Okay.
But you're single, right?
yeah, because I'm getting to know somebody.
Oh, but there's still a door open.
It's still right.
So-
it's still
There's a
open.
window.
Still a door. Ceiling and everything
It's
else.
closing.
It's closing quick.
You better hurry up.
Give it when
Stop double dutching and get your ass in there.
How long have you guys had your eye on each other?
She's still double dutching.
She's still double dutching. Who keeps saying double dutching?
No, I'm not. I didn't say she. I said the guys double dutch.
I'm gonna have to
Benjamin.
see you at the clubhouse parking lot.
I said the guys will double dutch because they see how mature she is, and it's like, yo, I gotta come correct. It's like, yo, I don't want
You're
to
spot
build.
on about that.
I don't want to build one world
She said
trade.
you're spot on.
Yeah, I don't want to build one world trade right now off the bat. Beth want to build one world trade. I want to build a 3-story building, and then I want to keep going to maybe a 6-story. Beth want to build one world, Sears Tower.
Now, but
Well,
here's the thing.
listen.
Here's the thing. You have ambition. At least you had a plan. The dude didn't sound like he wanted to build anything.
Yeah, she
You
actually
don't
said
know.
that too.
You don't know.
You
She
don't know
said-
either,
she
but
said-
that's based on what
That's what she said. So if
That's what she
someone has blueprints for one world trade, and dude is like, nah, I want to build this mini mall.
Well, she
Does he
said
like
And as
ambition
a
3
woman,
times.
at this point in my life, I could tell when somebody's with the BS or somebody's just like, sending that representative or whatnot. So I can read between the lines. It's not that hard to figure out.
See, that's
I
the
I
difference.
know how to ask intentional questions. He probably thinks it's a surface-based question, but I'm asking him on purpose.
Oh my
That tells me
God.
whether if he's, solid for it or if he's not. And that helps me, eliminate.
Were you a psychology
Easier.
major?
I am.
I'm out. Tapped out.
Damn.
What's
Beth.
wrong with that?
No,
No.
I've heard that so many
no,
times.
no. There's
feel like you're
nothing wrong with
cheating.
it at all. Just
got a
listening to
crystal
you.
ball.
Something wrong for your
it-
dating life because you're gonna keep seeing people and you're gonna spot something.
She's psychoanalyzed.
Right, you're gonna spot something and then it's like, no, he's not gonna do it. It's like a lot of this is luck. A lot of this is luck. A lot of this is from people growing during the relationship. Everybody's not gonna be ready to be the right person for the rest of their life. They grow into it, and like you'll grow during the relationship as well. But because you're a you're psychoanalyzing people, which is not a bad thing to do. The pot is smaller. It's like everybody that could have a shot. Cause I want to build a mini mall, but she ain't ready. She want to build skyscrapers. They out.
I think the pot's always been smaller for her. She's just dealing with the reality.
Yeah, and I think she's comfortable with the pot being smaller.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I could say that. But I'll be at your marriage when you're 50.
So Beth.
See, guys, I might have to come back once I get married.
Of
Oh,
course.
definitely.
That'd be a good way to reconnect.
When can we come on the podcast? When the whole lame show, we need to come on the podcast.
Journey driver.
Absolutely.
Journey Driver, yeah. You need
We're
to have us on.
revamping right now. We're working on a few projects, so it won't be for another month or so.
Okay, that's all right.
Sounds
But
good.
I'll be more than happy and delighted to have you guys on there.
All
Oh, I
right.
have questions for y'all.
There
you go.
Well, if you have some
I wanna-
questions for us now before we part, can
Hold
you
on,
give
hold on.
it
I want to end with a question. real quick, because we have another guest waiting in the wings. Then we can wrap it up. So on the Lame Show, we like to end with tips and advice. We have fun, but we like to be intentional as well. What tips would you give a single, a woman never married before, who's never married before? What tips would you give her on dating a divorced man?
This is a tip for a woman?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would say be intentional, ladies. Know yourself very well prior to putting yourself out there. So that way you can't be persuaded by his uncertainties. That way you could be intentional with your life. It's not that complicated. Just be intentional, know your worth, and, you will attract what you are.
I like that.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you very much, Beth, for joining us and adding some more bars to our podcast.
Thank you.
We really
Thank you so
appreciate you
much.
and hope to see you on Clubhouse every Monday at 8:30 for those that are listening. But thank you all for listening to The Lame Show. If you really feel like you're getting value from the show, you can always support us by going to buymeacoffee.com/The Lame Show. Please, if you haven't already, go back and listen to all of our prior episodes. We're up to 25, fellas.
Yeah, 26 drops Monday.
25, 26 coming up. And also, again, you can, follow us on all of the social media platforms. We are on all of them. Again, Beth, thank you for joining us. And
Thank you for having me.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it
Wrap
up.
it up. We'll see you guys next week. Onwards to 5,000 and see you in Clubhouse.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care.